Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mupo and Friends. I'm Holly Lombardi,
And I'm Michelle Mupo.
and we are brought to you courtesy of Mupo TV. You can watch this and all our episodes on our channel at www.mupoentertainment.com. That's www.mupoentertainment.com. And join us every Sunday for our live chat, 2 p.m. Eastern, on our YouTube channel at Mupo Entertainment during the premiere airing of our episode.
Definitely join us on Mupo and Friends as we bring you an inside look at your favorite celebrities and their community leader lives. We're going to go into their careers, their passions, and actually what they do or say to impact the world today. So tune in Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern, because it is going to be fun, entertaining content that you can enjoy and discover something new on
That's
Mupo
right.
TV.
Always something new and surprising. And Michelle, how was your weekend?
My weekend was awesome. How was yours?
Mupo awesome?
It was Mupo awesome.
It wouldn't be a weekend if it wasn't Mupo awesome. But we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back. We have a very special guest for you, so stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mupo and Friends. Our very special guest today is an award-winning actress of stage, a screenwriter, producer, director, and author of several books. She's not only created her own characters, she's had characters created for her. This busy woman is also a philanthropist, a horror icon, and a recent inductee into the Phillytainment Celebrity Hall of Fame. Please welcome Brooke Lewis Bellas. Hello,
Thank
Brooke.
you. Ladies, I know I said it before and I will say it again. Thank you with all my heart. I mean, I'm so blessed to be here. You both inspire me so. Like I said, I did my due diligence. You really have the most
Thank you.
amazing guests on at Mupo Entertainment. I am just in awe and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you.
Well, we are grateful to
Thank
have
you.
you. Thank you for joining us.
You rock. And plus, for those of you who don't know, her birthday's the same day as mine.
That's right.
We
I
are
got
crazy Virgos in
two,
the house. We are
two,
perfectionists. We're in trouble.
two Virgos and a Leo.
Oh,
Two
you're
Virgos
Leo.
and a Leo. Yep.
That is amazing. I've a ton of Leo in me, so I didn't even know that, Holly.
She loves me, so
Of course,
you're gonna love me.
The fire,
You know
baby,
what?
the fire.
The fact that she said coffee when she first came on was just a bomb.
I feel like I'm having coffee talk with my girls back home, even though Holly's here.
So I know everyone is, the morning. Okay. So that was a very intriguing film and you co-produced it. How did you actually get involved with that?
So my history as an actress and producer is absolutely insane, as we know, from New York to Hollywood. And that is such a special indie film. Like we said, is on Amazon Prime, Tubi TV right now. It launched this year. And Mark Klebanoff is someone who I've worked with for many, many years. He is a youngish, we're all youngish, I guess, right? He is a youngish writer, director, producer. And I first acted in his film Break that Frank Krueger starred in with Michael Madsen and Sarah Thompson and Chad Everett and oh, rest his soul, David Carradine. And that was in 2000. Gosh, we shot that in 2000, beginning of 2008. And so after that, Klebanoff and I just bonded. And, when I think when you deliver, I hope so. I want to make sure that I take the ego out of it and come from my heart. I think when you deliver and when you bond with people in a certain way, and especially when you go through the trenches together, like sometimes they say, what do they say? It's how people respond during the the bad times, but when you go through a film, you're going through those challenges. And so then he proceeded to cast me in a film titled Gerald, where I had, each time it's funny, my roles get bigger and bigger. So then I acted in his film, and he directed Gerald, and with Louis Mandylor, who we love to pieces, who's brilliant. And then from there, we did The Morning, that Michael Walton and his family lives in Michigan. So they hosted it. It was unbelievable. It was one of those beautiful indie, heartfelt, dramatic, but a little bit of sci-fi and just a lot of romance, and a heartfelt indie film that we shot in right outside of Grand Rapids, Michigan a few years back. And I was originally cast. And so they called me up one day and they're like, we wrote you a great role. And it was, a 4-scene role, supporting role, but perfect for me. And I'm always grateful when an opportunity like that comes along. So I first stepped in as an actress, and you'll see with the trajectory of my crazy career, oftentimes I'll either be cast first, then if there's an opportunity for whether it's to be paid or whether it's for, points toward Producers Guild or what have you, I will jump on in some capacity as a producer. And the opposite has occurred, where I have been offered a role as a producer to act. That's a whole other conversation, because that hits a chord in a different way. So with The Morning, they had written me the role of Lisa Assface, and I loved it. I read the script, had to jump on. And then I said, I'm happy because I'm so inspired by this beautiful piece, and I want to create work. We all do what we have to do, and we're perfectly imperfect just the way we are with whatever projects we have. But I aspire even still to get better, to be better, to do better, and to do work that has some purpose and meaning. And so it was such a beautiful, beautiful piece. And I jumped on as a co-producer and helped with production, and then post, and even more recently was working with Club and Off for distribution, etc., PR, blah, blah, blah. And so that was my capacity as a co-producer on that project.
And you've got to love an actress that actually remembers and names the people that she's worked with and acknowledges. I can see the gratitude in you. Absolutely. I mean, kudos on that. I noticed that right away about you.
Holly, thank you so much. Thank you. Can I just thank you so much for acknowledging that and for saying that. And that is something, and I know we're going to go deep, girls, and feel free. I invite you to, because we're women, we're empowered,
we're intuitive
too. We're very intuitive and very spiritual. And I knew that even watching all your shows, and so I'm like, we don't need to just, I welcome the film talk and actress talk, but we're going to get deep. And thank you for acknowledging that, because that is such a bone of contention for me. And I feel, and I'm going to speak authentically, worse and worse. I don't want to make it negative, but worse and worse with, sometimes I feel like the younger generation, and with the entitlement and less gratitude. And I hope that we can instill that into some young viewers, because whether it's social media, and I find it more and more where I'll be, whether I'm a producer or just an actress on a film or a TV show, and I'll go out to Instagram and make a post, and I will acknowledge the entire team, and no one else will do that with me or with anyone. So
Right.
So, right.
I love that.
Right.
We have to discuss that publicly and share, and hope that it inspires the viewers to making anything, whether it is your show that you're producing, whether it is a film, whether it is a TV series, whether it is putting music, producing music, it takes an army. It is never the I, me that drives me insane. And I hope that what we say today moves you forward into a more gracious direction.
Amen, sister.
Amen to that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like a house. You cannot build the house without all the pieces, all the legs, all the base. And a lot of times people forget, it's the people you don't see that are the ones making it happen. You see all the actors and the fancy stuff up front, but you don't see the underneath. And that's everything that goes into its teamwork.
And it's all the September 1st babies.
Yeah.
The crazy Virgos who are the people pleasers and the servers of the earth.
We make people famous. That's what we do.
I'm waiting for you, Michele. Bring it on. Make me famous.
You're a Mupo already. We just adopted
I'm
you.
a Mupo. I want the t-shirt.
It all started with September 1st. You had her at September 1st.
That's it. We're
Uh,
special.
you have an upcoming web series, Red Rooms. So it looks incredible. It looks riveting. Tell us about it. Share with the audience.
What an unbelievable project. And the reason it's so unbelievable is that I'm going to say, so it was the fall of 2019. So I was a single woman. I have to just say this, for many, many years. I mean, until I was 40 years old, and met my husband a few years ago. And I took off so I was back to that. I was on the grind, like ever, hustle, hustle, hustle. I was married to my career. I was traveling the country, supporting and promoting my films. And then I took off 2 years to produce a ginormous, insane Houdini estate wedding. That being said, I was so missing my creativity and needing to do things. And so, I joke again, at my level, whatever, no one's, I mean, yes, the indie film world is making direct offers to me, and I'm very grateful, but no one's kicking down my door. And so when we finished our wedding in summer of 2019, I then said, I am putting the pedal to the metal again. And I had a bunch of scripts sent to me and a couple of opportunities, and I dove like headfirst into producing again so that I could be offered like exciting, inspiring roles for me to play and to sink my teeth and fangs into. So to Red Rooms, it was October of 2019. I was actually about to go off to shoot a TV pilot / short form streaming series with Mark Klebanoff and the team again, titled Stripped, with the amazing Casper Van Dien. And so we were off to Reno, Nevada to film. And just before that, I had done a couple other projects. I mean, I was like working like a crazy person. And Red Rooms happened when the very, very talented writer-director Joshua Butler, who is such a seasoned TV veteran director, he did Secret Circle, Vampire Diaries, The Magicians, The Following, and the list goes on. And we had known each other from the film festival circuit, especially in the horror thriller world, way back when. I'm talking now like 13, 14 years ago. And we always had wanted to work together. And we finally said, let's do this. And so we shot, long story long, of course, a proof of concept for a show, actually a TV series originally, and then a film that we had discussed doing, sort of loosely based around his, which became a TV series, a vlog that started as an indie film. So we shot a proof of concept in October, the two of us, and then I went off to Reno, and then I shot another film with Stacey Lane Wilson, and then Reno happened, and then we came back and pandemic happened. I actually got very, very sick January of 2020, my husband and I, and then pandemic hit, and I'm like, I cannot, as sick as I was still with this residual crap, I'm like, I cannot sit still. I cannot wait. I cannot just wait for, reps to call and pilot season to happen. I have to be in action. So when pandemic hit, literally 2 days after we were on lockdown, I called Joshua Butler and I said, here's the deal. I have a vision. I have an idea, and I want to bring it to fruition through Philly Chick Pictures, my indie film company. And I said, we're going to take the proof of concept that we shot. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Philly Chick, Jersey, New York, and now Hollywood.
76ers.
Oh yes, I'm an Eagles girl all the way still. But I do love the Lakers. I got to give the Lakers some love too. Yes, and the Sacramento Kings, because we have friends who play there. So moving it on, we were like, let's do this. And how? And Josh was like, how? And I said, we're going to do this on a micro budget. Philly Chick Pictures will executive produce and finance it. I will executive produce it. I will be the sole producer, and we will shoot this virtually. And I think it was an inspiration and a challenge to Josh, to myself, to all the actors, where it was so insane. We literally shot an entire, almost like feature length web series, streaming series, where we cast, I cast actors who I know and love, who I knew could deliver, who I knew were brilliantly talented. It was half scripted, half improvised. And so you have to know under these circumstances that actors can handle this and who would be willing to work hard and come on in some producerial capacity, co-executive producer, what have you, where they're literally being asked, yes, they're being paid, but yes, they're being asked to be shot virtually, which means, think about this, viewers who are in production. What is falling on our actors? Everything. They are being asked to bring their own work, to do their own work, setup, wardrobe, art direction. They each actor, because we're being held captive, including myself. I am in it as well in this ensemble piece. It's amazing and it's intense and it's smart. It is not just horror, it is a thriller. Yes, it has a twinge of the Saw franchise and the Vlog franchise, but Joshua wrote a really intelligent through line umbrella story. And I, being an actress and being a grown ass woman now, like we said, we joke, grown up, like I don't always have the opportunity to play roles that I want to play. Hollywood doesn't always offer us that opportunity because I'm not the cookie cutter, girl next door or woman next door now. I am East Coast. I am ethnic. I am voluptuous. I am a lot of things. I am glam. So I have to create those opportunities for myself. And I wanted an opportunity where I could play something amazing, but also in keeping the theme with having respect and love and support for others, I wanted my actors to actually have an opportunity to play a character that they had not had the opportunity to play yet, that they were excited to play, something that they weren't offered in direct offers all the time. And so when I went to each of them and we would have the preliminary phone conversation, like, are you interested in this? Here's what we're doing creatively. What are your thoughts? And if you come on board, what would you like to play? What's a character that would, thrill you that you haven't had the opportunity to do? And so each one of them, and I remember again in having that feeling energy, I just remember speaking with each of them and them being so excited and honored that we would offer them this opportunity. And each one of them just was so pumped. They came on board. They handled it like champs. We put them through the ringer. I mean, this was like a full process that Joshua and I did where we were acting like, and still are in post-production, acting like an entire cast and crew with like minimal people. And so when we shot, and I actually debated hardcore, and I'm a Virgo, so I'm incredibly supportive, incredibly, I think, very fair until I'm not, right, Michele? Like until you push us too far or until we have such conviction, right? Until we have such conviction for something that we will fight till the bitter end. And so I said, I want to try this out via Skype. We're shooting everyone in their home on pandemic lockdown. I want to shoot via Skype. And Joshua honored that. We tried various ways, mediums, and he said, you are right. I'm going to give it to you. And so I held rehearsals. I mean, I produced the hell out of this. I held rehearsals for a week straight, every day with different hours and hours with actors. We went through their wardrobe. We went through the location where they would be seated. We went through were each held captive and tied down in some way. Each device.
Now, did people do it directly from their living room, or did they create a set at home? How did they handle that?
So again, and me being Miss Fair Virgo producer, I wanted to make sure, and I'm telling you, because people are in pandemic, they were so pumped. Oh my God, Holly, they were like, some people were like calling me going, I have a friend who's a famous FX artist. Is it okay if he comes over and does like, FX makeup on me? I'm like, no, because if he can't do it for one, then if we can't do it for all, we can't do it for one. So the answer is no. So people, our actors, shout out real quickly. I mean, we have David Alpay from The Vampire Diaries, Susan Lanier Bramlett, now Susan Lanier from The Hills Have Eyes, the original film, right? Wes Craven, Bambi and Welcome Back,
yes.
Kotter. I mean, she's the bomb. She's like my kindred spirit. I love her to death. She sang at my wedding, you guys. Okay. We have Ricky Dean Logan from Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We have the amazing Noah Blake. All my actors are so amazing, from the original like Teen Witch TV series when he was young. So we have this brilliant group, and myself, not quite brilliant, but I am hoping to stay in line with this crew. And
you're brilliant. They just don't
absolutely brilliant.
Believe me, you're a genius. Well, that was smart.
Thank you. I was a visionary, Michele. I was a visionary. And then everybody in Hollywood went and did this, and that's okay. but we did it. And we did it to the beat of our own drum, and we did it again on a micro budget. So to answer your question, Holly, each actor, we had them in a different space to make sure the aesthetic and the art direction looked, we had to have some continuity, but we needed variety as well. So each one chose their location, and we had to approve it or not. Each one showed us went through their wardrobe, their hair and makeup. Suze plays a senator, mature senator. So we wanted her hair up, all of it. And each person, and with each person we wanted to have, I insisted each one had a different device keeping them locked down, and they each had to be in one position. It was all about the improvisation underneath the script. It was all about the acting. Right. And these actors delivered like nobody's business. So real quickly, just to share a funny, I would sit in my home. I called it my video village. I had my little baby video village back here in my office. And then I would FaceTime into my director, Joshua Butler. He would be in his studio in his house. He would then be Skype in the actor who we were filming that day, and then they would be in their home location. So I want to really emphasize how challenging this was in every way. And we're still dealing with it for all the filmmakers in post-production right now with sound, because sound is so hugely important. And think about the various locations, we need continuity. So, and I'm a perfectionist. So there's that. So
but
thank you for asking.
What you did is pivot. You pivoted during the pandemic, and you found a way. You never stopped. You kept going, and you found a way around it to not only keep yourself employed, but to keep other people employed, keep the creativity going, keep the morale going, because that was a huge thing. When this hit, I think actors were really hit hard because that's everything they know.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're being pulled off sets, and for the first time, it's a completely different era. And actors could have just, stayed home and been unemployed. But instead, I was so happy to see how many actors like yourself came back, got creative, got ingenious, started taking advantage of this virtual world that we have.
But she started.
So yeah. No,
let's just make that. Let's just classify that. Okay.
She
started. Definitely did an incredible job.
Thank you.
An incredible job.
Skype is?
Yeah, very hard. But listen, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we're gonna be right back with more from Brooke Lewis Bella. And we are back. Hello and welcome back to Mupo and Friends. And we are here with Brooke Lewis Bellas.
Yay. I'm all excited.
Oh, wait, just so you know.
Michelle's so excited she couldn't speak.
I know. I was like, no.
Because we didn't stop talking the whole time during the commercial break. But listen, I have to say this, and we were talking about this, and I said, please let me say this on air. First of all, again, besides just everything I shared when I first came on and started blah, because I mean, Michelle's quote was like my life. And I really do want Michele to like coach or consult with me on being taken advantage of. Yes, I want, and hopefully we can address this, like being a woman and an empowered woman in the entertainment industry, whatever aspect of it, and not allowing ourselves to be taken advantage of. But I have to say this first. So that was one thing that totally inspired me when I was invited from Cats PR to come onto the show. Number two, having watched several of your episodes, and I'm sitting here going, I could not be more thrilled to see the women who you have invited. And I know that you get calls from publicists from here to New York all the time, and there's only a certain amount of shows a week or hours in a day, but you have had on women who I just admire. I'm in awe of. Diane Franklin, who I watched as a little girl in Last American Virgin, and that, right, and have had the honor to meet her at film festivals, and we attend like pop culture or conventions together over the years. She is
amazing.
She is amazing. She's a rock star.
Rock star and heart of gold. That's my take on her. Then I see Dee Dee Pfeiffer, who is not only an incredible actress, but
absolutely
the show, right? And the show you did, she and I did a charity event together. She probably won't remember, but probably, I'm going to say about 10 years ago now. And I got to speak with her for 5 minutes. And I'm like, she is the most well-rounded, authentic, plus talented, right? And I'm like assessing each one of them. And then let's cut to, I saw the darling, the megastar now, Ellen Holman, who I want to say I discovered, I'm just joking. And Ellen, if you're watching this, I know I didn't discover you, but I found a script for all the producers out there. I want to share quickly. I found a script in 2004 at a party. It was a mafia drama titled Sinatra Club. And it was based on a true story. The night that John Gotti became John Gotti out of the book and through the eyes of Sal Ubat's Polisi. Now, I say that because I found the script in 2004. I'm one of many producers. Again, it takes an army. But moving on, we finally filmed this after all of us raising a ton of money for this one. It was a nice chunk budget indie film based on a true story, like I said. And we shot it in 2009. It was delivered and released in 2011. Originally, we had to release theatrical through Warner Brothers, and then it became just a streaming, and at the time, Netflix picked it up, back then. So I say it because every beautiful actress, and I want to say blonde, redheads, all of them, but we were looking for a blonde for this specific lead female role. I was actually one of the head producers, and I was playing a large supporting role, Rosella, the mobster comedic gumata hooker. Perfect role for me, right? So, and I'm producing it as well. Yes, it was such an incredible experience. And so we had so many callbacks, so many producer sessions. This is spring, I want to say, of 2009. And every on the rise actress in Hollywood came in to read for us. And I will never forget when I saw Ellen, and she just had, her beauty is exquisite. So let's take the physical out of it, because that's a given. She had long blonde hair at the time. She just had the it factor. She had the sparkle in her eye. She had the confidence. She just came in and took it. And I remember, and I want to respect her, and I want to respect the other actresses. There were two other a little bit older, more seasoned actresses who came in to read for us and came in for all the callbacks. And a lot of the producers chose one of the other two actresses. My director, specifically myself, Lorna Johnson, our incredible casting director, and a few other producers specifically said, we have to go with Ellen Holman. And
excellent.
Right. And here's why. I said it. Lorna said, Brooke, your intuition is spot on. I couldn't agree more. I said, that girl is about to be a star. She's about to be a star. These other women are brilliant actresses. This girl is a star. And lo and behold, how many years later are we? That was 2009. So we're 12 years later. She became a mega TV star and now a movie star. So there you have that. So I just had to share.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great story. And what's so empowering too is women empowering women. And that's what you just did, empowering other women. And it's so beautiful to see, especially in the entertainment industry. Women, we really need to stick together and lift each other up. When you lift other women up, it is so powerful when we link arms.
You know what? We should seriously, Queen Latifah has this song Ladies First. And the funniest thing, and I was thinking of Helen Reddy, we are women, hear us roar.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
absolutely,
but that's what your show is. That's what your show. I mean, from when I watch it, you too, it's why, again, I was like, I'm in. you
We need to
two,
make you a regular. You got to come in like
I
seriously.
know.
Every time,
we can make Club MTV, Club MTV again.
You're a keeper.
no,
The
every
series
time you have
regular. I
something to
love it.
promote. No, seriously, every time you have something to promote, just come on. Seriously, let's promote her. Like, she's a woman.
Thank
Let's hear
you.
September 1st. We're going to get her involved in a lot of things. I think we're going to, I could just see it now.
I see a birthday party, a virtual Virgo birthday party.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Ooh, there you
I
go,
love
virtual
it.
Virgo.
So
But let me say this, you two are the producers of the show, and you two, I mean, again, I know all your viewers know, but for any viewers who don't, that like my fans that are going to come to watch this show, these women are badass. They do it all from the music industry. They're both producers, the producers of the show, health, you name it, like, just wellness across the board. And so you two, to me, you're welcome, but it's the truth. And so what I always say, and I've experienced this a lot lately, not always to the positive, and I want to be respectful but honest. So I always say it comes from the hierarchy. Like when I'm the head producer, when Philly Chick Pictures owns a project, when I'm in control, sometimes, even when it's my project, sometimes I'm not in control, but when I'm in control, I believe it comes from the hierarchy and works its way down. And when you're on a project, whatever, medium or venue that may be, that it all comes, like, you guys create the show from the hierarchy down, and you create the energy, and you support women. You are women supporting women. So it's easy for me to come on and partake in that, because I believe I'm in alignment with that too.
Right.
It doesn't always work that way. And whether it's women or men, I mean, I've had some really challenging experiences, especially as a female producer. That's why, Michele, I need you to school me on how to handle, because I know, here's the problem. Let me say this. I said this.
We'll definitely talk.
Yeah, but I want to hear it even on air. Like, for me as an actress, I'm a badass producer. I know that. I own it. I don't love it. I've done it because it has given me the opportunity for way bigger, better roles in Hollywood, because I had many more big opportunities back in New York when I was young. And so, but like, I really want to know, how do we as women not allow, like, for me as an actress, the emotional stuff, the emotion, how do you not let it come into business, Michele?
Okay, so I block everything out. I was assaulted January 18, 2011, right? And I was left for practically dead. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm permanently disabled. And and I've had a life that if I started to write down, my life in a book with Oxygen Publishing with Carolyn, and I had to stop. And I had to stop because I didn't really want to bring those memories back, because I didn't, it came back to me when I had to meditate, and it started to come back, and it was so vivid. And I kind of second guessed myself on actually what had happened in some of the drastic parts of it. So you need to take that part. See, one thing that people don't understand is, this is a shell. It's what's inside. And if you have a strong heart, you can't let anyone stop you. Because you know what? My no means yes. And you know why that is? And that is because so many people all my life had told me, you're never going to amount to something. Oh, you're a loser. Or, oh, this and that. You're in the stupid class. You're in the retard class. Literally, I was in a special class they put me in a special class from the time I was in the friggin' 7th grade. Okay. I was like, and all I wanted to do was play guitar or sing. It wasn't that I didn't know. It was the fact that the teacher did not wow me. I need to be wowed. I need to have that energy. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like this. It's like, fuck everybody else. Seriously, you need to focus on you and know what you're going to do. You write down your goals and you accomplish them. And I could show you how to write down goals, because I write them down 3 times a day. Yeah. So I do them. And believe me, I'm booked 3 weeks in advance. Like, I'm not kidding. Yeah. But the thing is that you don't know what the other person did. So like, I would say hi to everyone. And what really shocked me is, one kid came up to me, they were like, I was going to off myself, but you came up and said hi to me. For years, nobody said hi to me. Like, nobody even paid attention to me. I'm a loner. And you know what I did? I said, come on, let's go. We're going to the Hard Rock Cafe. I took the kid to the Hard Rock Cafe, and they're like, you're crazy. You're crazy. He's not even showered. I'm like, so what? I'll sit by him. You know what I mean? He's a human. Mm-hmm. And the thing that really pisses me off about people is that, you really don't know what somebody woke up. Like, I don't know. I'm sure
Right.
Holly has shit going on in her life. I have shit going on in my life. You have shit going on in your life. And we don't really know. But God brought us all together for a reason. You know what I mean? We're here to show people that, hey, it's okay to make mistakes, because the more mistakes
Yes.
you make, the better and stronger you come. The more somebody says, no, you can't, you know what? You don't take anything they're saying to heart. You know
Yep.
what I mean? You got to stop and push. Go ahead, Ollie. Your
It's like
motivation comes in
we
now.
no we have a dear peer that we interviewed Mike Sirocco. We call him C
C-Rock. We
Rock,
call him
and
C-Rock.
he wrote this book, and I actually want to give you a copy of his book called Rocket Fuel, and it's all about really, you know, using the things that then you know, even the negativity, the stuff that people throw at you, the hard life lessons, and using that as fuel to launch and to just keep going and growing and just completely like keep that mindset straight ahead. And like Michelle was saying, your goals, your rituals, the things you do, I mean, it is, who cares what anybody else says? You have your vision, you have your dream, you stay laser on that, you
Yeah.
stay
You're friggin'
rigorous.
awesome.
Yeah. And you keep going, because you know what, the
There-
higher you get, the more people
So
are going the hate will come out,
Oh
people
yeah.
will drop off, but you know what, that's okay, because what's not meant to be, they will just drop to the side, because you know what, only people with a certain energy will be able to take your energy, because as we get higher, as we grow, as we get the downloads and we follow that path, not it's not for everybody, and you're going to find that you will start to be in alignment with the right people, with the people that
yeah,
are
Amen.
on your planet,
it is. It's
are
all
on the
about
same level.
it's all about
100%. Couldn't
like-minded
agree more.
people.
Uh,
Like-minded people.
Right.
100%. And like we said, women supporting women. I mean, I authored a book, Coaching from a Professed Hot Mess. It's all over Barnes and Noble and Amazon Prime. That was years ago. Same kind of languaging and conversation, you know, to own that I'm a professed hot mess. I may have a million awards in my trophy case and have a nice resume and have, you know, been blessed with a lot that I've worked very hard
Right.
for. But at the same time, I fall, I fail, I make mistakes, and here I am. And I get up again and keep moving forward. I also wrote a book and published a book, same thing, Barnes and Noble and Amazon Prime, titled Ms Vampy's Tween Talk. Well, that's a show, but the book is Ms Vampy's Teen Talk. There's a lot of power in your choices. And she's a positive Brooklyn vampire, teen girls. It won a bunch of awards.
Oh, that's
And so
awesome.
It's
oh yeah, I'll send you.
great.
In fact, I'll send you copies of those. Any moms watching it with tween and teen girls, you must get this book. So all the same language and conversation. And I think as Virgos, especially, and anybody who's not a Virgo probably hates that we keep bringing that up, but it's the truth. Like, we want to make everyone happy. At least I know, you know, we want to people please, want to make everyone happy. And sometimes I know for me, it's at my own expense and demise. And so it is good. And I say in my book too, it's okay for women to be a little selfish. And that, like, you
Yes.
know, right? Selfish. It's different from being
Unapologetic.
selfish. I love that.
Unapologetic. Yep.
I love that. Absolutely. And it's hard. Look, you don't think I've been at this game in this industry for 20 plus years. I've been trash. I just read a horrible, nasty comment about on one of my films the other night. And does it sting? Yes. I'm human. I'm sensitive
Take it as a
emotionally.
compliment. Take it as a
Thank you.
compliment.
Yeah.
You know
Hey,
why? Because
they're
there's
Go
they're
here.
they're
no,
they're
let me
still talking.
but yeah, but it's not even just that. We talked about this on the last episode, but it's not even that. If somebody badmouths you or says something bad about you, it's only because they're pissed off because they didn't do it first and they want to be like you or they want to be around you. And if somebody says, "Oh no, that's not it," that they're full of shit. And I don't care what anyone says. Let me tell you
And they're
something.
probably
Bring
watching
on
your
the bad
movies.
stuff. Yeah, let them talk bad about me. I don't care. I'm going to give them something to talk about.
I still care and I'm too sensitive, but hopefully I use that in my actress work. And again, I love what you said. And that's one goal and mission for me personally and professionally as a woman and an actress producer, is stepping out of this pandemic when it's fully over and really having discernment and really being, like you said, Holly, in alignment. I always say that when I coach, and I speak on a lot of film panels, a lot of film festivals, a lot of women in film panels, and I tell young women that are watching, like, if what we say and our actions are out of are not the same, we're out of alignment with our truth. So agreed.
So
we all
true.
agree.
Well, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to be right back with more from Brooke Lewis-Bella. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mupo and Friends, and we are speaking with Brooke Lewis-Bellas. Brooke, so you co-starred with Casper Van Dien in this series Stripped. Can you give us any details about that and what it was like working with him as well? I'm sure there's a lot of fans out there.
Lots of fans, and I am one now as well. I think I always was one. Now I'm a huge fan of Casper Van Dien. And let me just say, not only is he an incredibly talented actor, he made me a better actress, and he is one of the nicest people in Hollywood that you will meet.
Yeah.
Alongside, and I have to shout out to Jenny Wenger Van Dien, who is his wife, and she and I bonded on our set and shoot. She is so special. We've become dear friends. And so shout out to both of them. They are just a tremendous couple. And so, yes, we were blessed to work on a streaming series titled Stripped. We went and shot the pilot and the short form series in Reno, Nevada, that I was talking about earlier, in December of 2019. We posted it. Shout out to Mark Klebanoff, also stars again the amazing Louis Mandylor and Larry Hankin and Jessica Morris, and Suze Lanier-Bramlett is in that one too. And the list goes on and on. There's so many. I know I'm probably Dat Fan and just S.E. Puri, and I could go on and on. Anyway, amazing indie pilot and streaming series. You hear me, indie guys, for all the viewers again. You can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. So I was one of the producers, one of the executive producers, and I played the female lead opposite Casper, but I played a zany publicist, Jules, to Casper's starring role, which is Chris Cameron. So it's posted, and Mark Klebanoff is diligently working on getting this onto real mainstream television before we hit streaming networks. So can't say too much, not too much spoiler alert, but it is a comedy, it's a dramedy, it's a drama, and it is really, really incredible. And I just want to shout out to the fact that the late, great Christophe St. John, the amazing actor, soap opera star, Emmy winner. Yeah.
That was Holly's friend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
he was from way back. Yeah. We met when we were teenagers.
Holly, I had no idea. I
was at the memorial. Yeah. Yeah. We're interconnected through various friends of mine that are entertainment based, and yeah, they're all very close to him. Yeah.
What a wonderful person, human being.
Very, very dear human. I got to see him about 6 months before we ran into each other at his health food place that he owned, and got to give him his hug. But yeah, he was a very, very special being. I used to call him my little ragamuffin. he was just a kind soul. That was
he was on Days of Our Lives.
Oh, he was an Emmy award winning. Yeah, Emmy
Yeah.
award
Yep.
winning.
And so,
Yeah.
and respectfully, I'm so sorry. And for the
Yeah.
viewers who
Oh,
don't know, he passed on. And
yeah.
so Mark Klebanoff, the writer director, I remember the day that he was at Christoph's house and they called me and they said, we are writing a treatment and a pilot, and we're writing you, Jules, the role, the crazy publicist. So I was like, I'm in. I mean, you two are so talented and creative. I'm in. And then Christoph passed on, and so Klebanoff wanted to honor him. And when the time came after my wedding, and Frank Kruger, who is the other star and producer with us, he and I connected, went to Mark Klebanoff, and we wanted to do this streaming series. And Klebanoff said, I know what series we need to do. Let's do Stripped, that Christoph and I created the idea for, and let's do it in his honor.
Wow.
So, wow, I have chills right now because we didn't even know this,
There
viewers.
too. Small world.
It is
Small
a
world.
small world. And
I
so
am so happy to hear that.
it's an amazing project. And I can't say too much again until it lands with its TV platform. So there's that. But wow, again, see how connected and in alignment and energy and
small world, that 6 degrees of separation always going around. Yeah.
Now,
I love it.
You put yourself in TV shows as a child. Now, have you ever worked with somebody that you like actually imagined working with? Like I would have liked to have worked with Scott Baio and Christy McNichol or someone like that.
I love that. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for asking that question because it's amazing and I'm inspired. And, I just want to say real quickly to the viewers, like you can IMDb me, you can go to brooklewisbellis.com. And yes, I've been on TMZ, and yes, I've been on major red carpets and blah, blah. It's all the things you don't see that go on behind the scenes, right? So what a lot of people don't know are the TV pilots that I've gotten to act in that never aired, never got picked up to series, right?
I know how that goes.
You know how that goes. Or the, shows that I've been on, like Quintuplets on Fox in 2004. And I have this like 2-episode recurring arc and maybe more. I played Gina Grisano from Staten Island. I'm the bully of the school. Then the show gets canceled. So answering your question, there's all those things. So I sometimes literally have to pinch myself. And I mean this with all my heart and go, did that really happen with me? Like, did that really happen? Even now, even after all these years. So to answer your question, one shout out to my dear, dear friend and director, Robbie Bryan, who directed I Murders, which is like a sort of Agatha Christie type of thriller that I was one of many executive producers on and acted in. And I had the opportunity for all the horror fans out there to play Agent Lori Romano with the amazing, iconic Tony Todd Candyman. So I walked onto set and I was like, I watched Candyman when I was a kid and I was horrified. And I'm like,
me too.
I was scared. I was actually scared, right? Candyman, right? 5 times. I was actually scared. So there's one icon. And then also in I Murders, the incomparable, beautiful Gabrielle Anwar. I mean, Scent of a Woman, Burn Notice. I love Gabrielle. So I get to work in scenes opposite her. I have done 6 films with the rest his soul, Charles Durning, Oscar-nominated Charles Durning from Dog Day Afternoon, Tootsie, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I got to do Gerald that I mentioned earlier, the comedy Mark Klebanoff directed, with Mickey Rooney, the late, great Mickey Rooney. I mean, there are so many, it blows my mind. And then others who, like Ellen Hallman, like Frank Grillo, who starred in I Murders, like we played brother and sister. He was the lead. He blew up and he's like an A-list megastar. I got to work with him. Like, it's so crazy. And then shout out, here's one that I will share. And it's one of my most challenging experiences in the industry. But when I was very young, right out of college in New York, and I went through several auditions and callbacks, and I was cast as Mark Ruffalo's girlfriend in 54, Rico's Girl. 2 scenes with Ruffalo and Ryan Phillippe, 2 scenes with him, and then 1 scene with the also talented as hell Dominic Lombardozzi. all of which we were all that era coming up in the ranks.
Right.
Ryan Phillippe was also right outside of Philly. And we were young in New York with great agents. I mean, I was signed after Tony and Tina's wedding with like A-list agencies, you know, which hasn't been my case in Hollywood. And so we come up in the ranks. I book this. Literally, they're sitting me down saying, my agents are sitting me down saying, you are projected to be the next like Marissa Tomei Mona in My Cousin Vinny. Yes, which is my dream. Mona, that character, My Cousin Vinny. So I'm thinking, you know, at 22 years old, like that's going to be my trajectory of my career. So I do 54, and long story long, the first day I'm on set, it's Miramax, and they went over budget. And it was the first time director who I adore, who we communicate sometimes on social media, still, Mark Christopher. And they went way over budget, and that they couldn't finish filming my scenes the first day. So they send me home. The AD, female AD back then too, comes and sends me home, bring me back the next day, still can't film my scenes. Send me back 2 days later, my agent calls, they want you back again. So I still get residual checks. I still get paid. I still got paid for all those days. And lo and behold, they cut the last 5 scenes out of 54,
Oh, no.
2 of which were mine, and it never saw the light of day. And so for young actors watching this, and even mature actors watching this, we just never know. I got to do a pilot that Raphael Monserrati, who became a wonderful director, directed years ago in 2005. After Quintuplets, I booked the lead in Mafiosa, which was a comedy pilot about a Philadelphia mob. And I was the daughter trying to take over the mob, the family, because my father was going senile. And it was the amazing Bobby Costanzo, Joey's dad from Friends. He played my father. So, and Johnny Roastby from Goodfellas, who's a dear, dear friend of mine. So, right? And these are the greats that I have looked up to and have gotten to work with. And I could go on. I mean, Michael Nori, who I watched as a teen little girl on Flashdance, you know, was in Sinatra Club, right? Michael, the handsome Michael Nori. Oh, I totally forgot. So I did a film that one of the things that made me a scream queen and put me on the map through Showtime, which was titled Kinky Killers. Don't get me started, but still in gratitude, because it's what made me a scream queen, bestowed the title upon me, and I own it. I embraced it, and here we are. But that being said, I was one of the executive producers too. We ended up casting Michael Pare, who's a friend of mine to this day. Michael Pare, Eddie and the Cruisers, lead, Streets of Fire, Philadelphia Experiment, again. And so when I went on to set, we did the first table reads back in Hoboken with Michael Pare for Kinky Killers, right? I'm an East Coast girl. And so, I mean, I remember Michael Pare walking in, and I had such a crush on him as a little girl. I mean, what woman didn't, right? And I'm like, what is Michael Pare, Eddie and the Cruisers? And like, he is just such a gem. I mean, I just saw him at a film festival right before the pandemic, but what a wonderful, wonderful, generous actor and just human being. So again, I could go on and on. I co-produced a film years ago. Patrick Muldoon was the star of it. I actually brought him in and cast him as a producer, brought him into the film. Wonderful. I used to watch him as a young girl. I mean, so to answer your question, yes, and yes.
I have a question for you, but it's about being a scream queen, but we are gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back with more from Brooke Lewis-Bellis. And welcome back to Mupo and Friends. We are here with Brooke Lewis-Bellis. Brooke, I want to ask you, what is something that people would be surprised to know about making a horror film?
So what you see aesthetically, literally, what you see is never what is transpiring behind the scenes. Literally, you have, and usually it looks dark because that's how we, light it. But back where we are, there are bright lights everywhere. There's nothing that scary going on in that capacity. And you are surrounded by an entire crew, huge crew of people. So it's never quite as scary as it looks.
Is it when you're in a scary and you're supposed to be in a scary moment and you have all this crew and everything there, where do you go as an actor to really get into it? Because when you're scared, you gotta really be believable.
I love that question. And yes, you do. And so that is one thing I think that when you train, you actually train as an actor, you have methods. I don't want to go to oh, I'm a method actress, but I do, for me, I'm not just so in the moment that I can get to some really raw, deep, especially when they're intense or emotional moments. So for me, I have to way prepare in advance. So of course I will coach with my acting coach, but I'm talking even the moment before. I always need to know the moment before. And for me, and it's interesting, I love that question because so many times I'll be on a set, at film or TV over my career, and I watch these young actors or actors of any age who are able to just pick up the emotion or pick up the choice, right then and there. I have to, and they're able to like be having conversation, be out of character, be laughing with all the cast and crew one moment before. I'm not capable of that. For me to get real deep and raw, I need to remove myself. I need to remove myself from the noise. I need to remove myself from people, from the energy. I need to often go into another area, or if I have to be in that area, I have to shield myself, like we would energetically, and go so deep within and tap into my sense memory work and my prepared choices in order to deliver something that feels and appears and is authentic.
Right.
Hmm, that's interesting. So how
Yeah,
do you,
I was say.
so how does a scream queen actually perfect the scream?
That I have to admit, I really believe it's a gift. I believe it's a gift and a skill. I believe that to be a really great screaming scream queen, or even right, it's something that comes from vocally, right, within, but also comes from to have a real true scream queen scream. I think you have to come from your gut, and it's not just about doing the volume, it's about doing the authentic pain, fear, whatever the emotion is that you're delivering, truth, just like Michele in music. It's not just about saying lyrics, right? It's about expression, emotion, feeling it.
Yeah, no, it's true. But I gotta tell you, I know you said you put a shield up and everything. I think personally, I can unleash that to where you could just snap and do whatever you want because you have a lot of power. I am feeling so much power that you can definitely do anything.
Thank you so much. I think, let me just add to that. When I say shield, I mean, like some people, for me, let me say this,
For
let me
me, it's the
say
white
it
light of
differently.
the Holy Spirit and Christ consciousness.
I love it. And I agree with you. Thank you. When I say shield, I mean, shield myself from, and I hear what you're saying too, but yeah, like cause I could get distracted, so I can't be distracted, or I won't be as powerful as I need to be. Right.
Present.
You definitely are my
Thank
sister.
you.
You
I
definitely.
I have a question about because you're a big horror icon and people recognize you, identify. What when you do conventions and what are some of the most impactful moments for you interacting with your fans? And what are some of the memorable things about that? And do you find that it actually helps promote a lot more?
Thank you. So thank you for saying everything you said. Again, when it's us, we don't always perceive ourselves. I go iconic, but I am blessed with fans who make that statement. Thank you. So for me, first part of the question, like what are the most impactful moments? For me, the most impactful moments have been having those networking opportunities and, getting to meet other performers and other filmmakers and stuff, that I've met some of the most amazing people at conventions because you're literally on top of one another for a 3-day period, right? You know this,
I met you.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's very intimate in that regard. And again, I've met some of my closest, dearest friends over many years at conventions. Number two, the thing that inspires me and is most impactful for me with the fans is when they tell me I made a difference, whatever that means, whether I made a difference in entertainment for them, just bringing them some entertainment value in some wild, crazy cult classic like Greg Lamberson's Slime City Massacre that I got to act in with Debbie Rochon and Lloyd Kaufman,
Yeah,
or when a mother will come up to me at one convention not too long ago, a few years back, a single mom with a tween daughter came to my booth and wanted to, take pictures with her daughter with Ms. Vampy because her daughter had read my book, Ms. Vampy's Teen Talk. There's a lot of power in your choices. And the mother said to me, I'm going to cry. I never imagined that a horror icon, my daughter loves horror and she doesn't want to read self-help books, or she doesn't want to read, lesson type of books, but like a horror icon like you could bring positive messages and life lessons in a book to my tween teen daughters. Like, it's just made a difference. And that's why I created, just to speak authentically, why I created Ms. Vampy. I took, in 2007, I blew up as a new indie scream queen. I say that humbly. And I love every minute of my horror career and trajectory, and I wouldn't change it for the world, which is funny because I started like off Broadway and Tony and Tina's Wedding and national tours of musical theater. So how I landed in horror with Showtime, Kiki Killers, you just never know. And I chose to embrace it. So what I'm saying is I love every moment of it. But after several films with that, I knew I needed, just for me, and I don't judge anyone else, and I'm speaking just from my heart, like I needed to take this Scream Queen, Ms. Vampy horror persona in some way years ago and create positivity and good with it. And I have to say this, I have been so challenged by Hollywood because I've got my own series, Ms. Vamp It Out, that we wrote and created years ago. It was a feature film. Now it's a series. I've been pitching it. It's been turned around for years and years. And so I would have the studio executives in Hollywood sit down in a pitch meeting with me and say, but here's the deal. We don't get it, Brooke. Like, you're a horror icon. How could a horror icon possibly have positive messages for teen girls? Well, and here I go again, the Virgo in me, the feisty fighter in me. I'll show you. And so everything I've done, she's laughing because it's the truth. Michele knows everything I've done has been from that point of either inspiration or that point of conviction, passion, like you said, like, oh, well, I'll show them. And that's why actually I then created a talk show years ago, Ms. Vampy's Tween Talk, Teen Talk, and In Between Talk, that won a bunch of awards because I wanted to show Hollywood that a horror icon like Ms. Vampy could actually inspire teen girls.
And anything is possible. And what you're doing is you're taking the clout that you have and niching it and creating a positive message in the world. There's nothing to say that it's not possible for because it's horror. That's really like, actually, like that mother coming up to you right there is proof that this is something that actually can be done, is being done by you, and is putting out. It's using the power that you have in the media to create good messages.
Thank you so much. And trust me, I feel powerless often as well. I want the viewers to hear that, know that I feel so powerless sometimes. And sometimes I feel like I'm paddling upstream, as Esther and Abraham and everyone would say, I'm paddling upstream. Why am I? My husband's like, and you feel like you're just clawing at something and it's so out of your reach. And that's where I have to go back to, okay, be committed. Know, like you said, your goals. I never quit. I'm too stubborn to quit, and just keep forging ahead, and just know the result may not always look like exactly what we think it will or what we even set out to do or make. But sometimes when we just be and embrace it and, breathe, I don't mean to sound hokey, but you know what I'm saying? Like, then what comes to us, like started out off Broadway, Tony and Tina's Wedding, mobster movies in New York, 54. I mean, the list goes on, like a Fox sitcom and other sitcoms. And then, and nobody knew who I was. They knew that me on the TV show and stuff, but and then all of a sudden this one Showtime hit and it's like, you're the new It Scream Queen. They're inviting me to the horror conventions, it was insane. And
that's all it takes.
That's right. And I
That's true.
embraced it. And I totally embraced it. And then the sci-fi stuff came from the horror stuff, being horror, known entity. All these sci-fi, I was getting all these direct offers for sci-fi films. I embraced it. Yes. Truth here, right now on Mupo and Friends. Is my dream to do indie horror films the rest of my life? No. I've been there, done it, have the t-shirt. I'll do them continuously with good people, with good scripts, with quality. However, I want to be back on a full-blown TV series again. I've done it in the past. I've proven I can do it, and I will do it again. Will it be challenging? Maybe so, but I will continue. So my dreams, I still have dreams and goals, and I just keep going forward.
Rocket fuel.
Now,
she's got that rocket fuel.
She does. Is there anything else coming up in like your up and coming projects that you can tell us about before you?
So thank you for asking. So one last shout out I must give, because again, it's a great way to end it too, keeping in the girl power theme. One of my best friends in the world, Stacey Lane Wilson, who wrote an amazing piece. It's a short film that is on Amazon Prime and several other platforms, titled Psychotherapy, that I got to act in opposite Ricky Dean Logan, and shout out to our other producer, Bryce Campbell. And it's something that Philly Chick Pictures, my company, produced back in 2006, actually. And we released it in 2016. Oh my God, I don't even know what day it is. 2016, and we released it in 2017. So only less than 4 years ago. But we hit the festival circuit. I was so blessed because Stacey wrote me such an incredible piece, and I sank my teeth into it. And I was blessed with the very prestigious Actors Award, several awards actually, the very prestigious Actors Awards for Best Actress in an Indie Film in 2018, I think it was, and the Stella Adler Acting Award at the Action on Film Festival in 2017. And so I shout out because Stacey has recently, 3 years ago now, but with one of her writing partners who is hysterical, Darren Gordon Smith, who was the writer and composer of Repo. Michele, I know you know Repo, the genetic opera. So they had this film titled The Second Age of Aquarius. It is hilarious. It's heartfelt. It's got some drama, but it's a comedy with a little bit of sci-fi because of a hologram. I don't want to give too many spoiler alerts. And very, very funny, and a lot of music and a lot of fun. And so they wrote this piece. It stars Christina Kauf, is amazing. She plays the female lead. She's young. She plays my daughter. And Michael Ursu, and he's super, super talented musician, and so many other great people. So I get to play a supporting role of you're gonna die. You guys are gonna, Michele, you're really gonna die. Tawny Stevens. She's rest her soul too.
Wow.
Tawny Katine.
Yes.
Who I loved, who I got to do events with. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
She was so beautiful.
Yeah, I met her back in the day. She was a sweetheart. Yeah.
I
so
remember,
kind. So
yeah.
I'm telling you a story about her. We were doing a convention, and she was like, I don't know, because I don't really drink. I don't, like, at the time I didn't do anything. And I was with some people, and I think it was Jamie Luner said, "Oh, drink some Patron." She got me started on the Patron, by the way. but Tony comes by and she goes, "Oh yeah, this is my sister." And she went like this, and she's like, "Go along with it." And I'm like, and I'm like, "Yeah, and this is my sister." And we were like playing these kids that were like, because they didn't know who we were. Like, well, they like, obviously I'm nobody compared to them, but it was pretty funny because Tony was like, they were trying to pick her up, and she just came over to us at Chiller and was just like, it was hilarious. And I'll never forget that. And then what was it? Corey Hyman and Corey Feldman were there that day.
Corey Haim.
Haim. Oh my God, I can't even say his name. Haim, yeah. So, and he comes up to me and he had a dozen roses, and he goes, "Can you do me a favor?" He goes, I forgot who he wanted to give it to. He goes, "I need you to call her over here." And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, is this happening? Like, I used to watch him on TV all the time. He's coming up to me. And then I'm like, okay, let me go get, I forget who it was. He gave someone a dozen roses, and it was one of the actors. And, I'm having a brain.
It might have been Tiffany.
It may have been.
Because they were engaged
that's
for
right.
a minute. Mm-hmm.
And he was like, and I'll never forget that. And he was like, "You got to call her over here." Because he saw me talking to her. So I think it was, yeah. But it was pretty funny.
Tawny, God rest. I mean, I knew Corey so well too. Wow. And
Feldman has a story too.
Sure does.
Yeah.
It's so hold that thought. So Tawny was so beautiful. So hold that thought because I do want to get back to what you just said. So anyway, so long story long, so Stacey, so this role that I'm playing, her name, they named her Tawny Stevens. She's an 80s rocker mom, stuck in the
Awesome.
80s. Oh my God, Michele, you're gonna die with the leopard pants, the crazy,
Love it.
right? And so
Oh,
Stacey, who
man.
has such a great vision, she wanted me to be like a like an 80s video vixen. And it is
Oh my
hysterical.
God.
Shout out to Allison Noel, who did my hair and makeup with the purples and the blues, and it's hysterical. In fact, you can even see Second Age of Aquarius. I think if you can,
Yep.
if the viewers can
That's
see
very
this,
cool. Very
there's
cool.
me up there. So it is in post production, and shout out to Nina Hurton. Like we have this great, and Nancy Long, our producer. Like we have this incredible girl power. Poor Darren Gordon Smith. He's like the only guy right now, but we have this incredible girl power team. So when they came to me and they had financing, and then they had lost financing and all the stuff. And Stacey's one of my best friends. I believe in her completely. She's so talented. And came to me, we're talking, and then I was like, you know what? And it was just really honestly all timing. I had access to an investor, and then I had money coming in from another film from Philly Chick Pictures. And I'm like, okay, we have to, you
I love
can't
that name.
Philly Chick Pictures, thank you. And I was like, you can't put this film to rest. Like it's too sweet, it's too good, it's super, super micro budget. But we have been working, and they have been working as the main producers, like nonstop. I'm the executive producer in Philly Chick Pictures, and we were on this. That was one of the projects from fall of 2019 that we shot, and we've been posting it. And again, we're in sound. We're so close. We're so close. So that will be out. That will be releasing. It's so sweet. It will be releasing hopefully by the end of this year. We actually just had a email meeting this morning. So a lot of good stuff. Also, for all your listeners who love music and girl power, I am blessed. I got branded years ago now, almost 6 years ago now, with a music lifestyle company. Michele, I need to connect you with Allison Metal Babe Cohen, Metal Babe Mayhem. So we met, funny enough, at a convention. She came up to take photos with me. Rock star. I mean, she's like us. She's like all of us. Like, we need to bring her on. So we bonded. She said to me, she was like, I love you. You're the best. I'm like a fan. And branded me with my own like clothing line. Like we have a Scream Queen. We have these like awesome, like, me with the flash dance jersey style.
That's hot. That's very hot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in my little like Mrs. Roper caftan here, but I wanted to match color schemes with your show. So we have shirts that are like flash dance style that are amazing, and they're so rocker-esque. They're so cool. They're so horror-esque. My horror fans go crazy. We have a Brooke Lewis Bella Scream Queen one. We have so then we did a hot mess one with my book. So again, I'll have to talk about this. I'll send you links.
I love it. I love it.
So she's so amazing. So shout out to Metal Babe Mayhem, and you can if you go to brookelewisbellis.com, my press site, you can see links to her website and we sell our shirts at Etsy. So we designed right before my wedding, I said, can we do a hot mess, like brides, bachelorettes, and bridal line of shirts?
Wow.
So we have that too. So that's another girl power soul sister of mine. I mean, there's just, I'm very blessed, but like you girls, we make it happen. I don't sleep. I sleep 3 hours a night, and I work like a crazy person.
My girl.
Right? It's a Virgo thing. And my husband, I don't know how he puts up. I married a fire chief, retired fire chief. And I always said, like, well, I had to find someone like him because, he's used to running into burning buildings and dealing with like chaos and tragedy. So he can handle me.
Yeah,
are you the burning building?
Yep. I'm the chaos tragedy.
I have a question for you. You've won a lot of awards for Sprinkles, which was a 10-minute film that you released in 2010, and it's back in play again. What do you attribute the longevity of that?
The writing, the script, and my director. 100%. Shout out to Roger Sheck, who actually left Hollywood and moved back to North Carolina. He got married and has kids and is happy as can be with a great photography company. He had me attached years ago to a thriller, and I was playing the lead as an actress, and I was going to produce it with him, and then they lost the financing. Moving the story along, and it was 2009 at the time, end of 2009, beginning 2010. And I was really very relevant. Fortunately, I always say that was like that was like one of my heydays. I've had a few different ebbs and flows, heydays as an actress. And I was very relevant at the time and getting direct offers all over the place. And so I was not even thinking about doing a short film. And Roger said to me, because we lost the financing for the feature, I want to do this short. I'm going to write you a short. I'm going to write you the female lead. You're going to produce it with me. And I was like, I'm not doing short films. I'm doing all these features and TV stuff. And he's like, you're going to do my short. And he wrote me 3 weeks later. He hands me the short titled Sprinkles with the lead role. It was exquisite. It is probably the best, one of the best, if not the best role that has ever been written for me. I fell on the floor when I read it. I was like, there's no way I'm not doing this. He was right. I was wrong. I own it. And we went on to make Sprinkles. Shout out to Don Danielson, Stone Eisman, just these incredible actors I got to work with. And it is, here's the thing, funny enough, it's a 10-minute piece. Like you said, it is on Amazon Prime. It's on Vire Network. It's on HiVio. It's everywhere. So many people came to us for distribution for that because it's so amazing. And it's probably one of my most proud pieces. So I sit here and I will commit over and over again to say it starts with the script. It starts with the writing, you guys. And then it starts with an incredible director who knows, who writes for my strengths, who knows my strengths, who knows to play against my weaknesses as an actress, and to really know how to direct each individual actor to bring out the best in us. And that is what Roger Scheck did.
Amen.
You're
Well,
amazing.
we're gonna take another quick break, and we're gonna be back with the conclusion with Brooke Lewis Bellas. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Mupo and Friends. We are here with Brooke Lewis Bellas. And Brooke, I wanted to ask you, you work nonstop, girl. And you were saying, sometimes you sleep 3 hours a night, but you're always on the go. You have so much energy just in talking to you. It's incredible. What is your secret for having so much energy, even though I know you've mentioned some health challenges?
Thank you so much, Holly. And again, if we are going to inspire, we have to share truth. And so off air earlier, and we talked about how, believe it or not, because it's pertinent to the question, I got very, very sick in college. I got mono and Epstein-Barr virus, and then I got the chickenpox a year later, all in that same viral family. And then I got encephalitis, Guillain-Barré syndrome. I share this because I have never been the same. So for many years now, over 20 years, I've had chronic Epstein-Barr virus, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, legitimately. You can call my immunologist right now. And so a lot of challenging health, a lot of allergies, a lot of chemical sensitivities. So I am chronically exhausted, chronically fatigued. Any given day, you put me on a set, I'm on for 15 hours, you will take my temperature, and I will have, separate of COVID, I have nothing to do with it right now, I will have, 100 fever. So I am constantly exhausted. So to answer you, I am committed in many ways to balance. I don't usually have success with it because I usually end up workaholic, crazy, nonstop, but I am committed to balance. I do eat incredibly healthy. I try to get sleep. It doesn't always work. I feel like the older I get, the more committed I choose to be, and I have to be, with health that is mental health, that is physical health, that is spiritual health.
Amen.
So whether it's eating healthy, taking all my homeopathics, my herbs, my supplements, like we talked about, also having emotional balance. I have a stable of people. I have a stable of women, actually. And shout out to Lori Bertazon, my life coach, Michele Colt, whose workshop I'm doing again tomorrow, actress empowerment coach, who help keep me, Mitra Rabar, Marilyn Aloria. Some of my best friends are the most famous psychic healers out in this area. And so, again, all women. So it's about, and also shout out to, I'm a girl's girl, as you know. I have so many wonderful friends, male and female, in my life. And I hope that I support them. They support me. I couldn't get through anything without the support, even energetically, like you said, Holly, of
Right.
my soul people. And so I am a stress case. Believe it or not, I'm incredibly insecure. I get a lot of anxiety. I stress over everything. It's a Virgo thing. I can't help it. I am like Michele. I have lists and sticky notes. I mean, seriously, sticky notes are like my best friend. They're everywhere. And so, and I journal. I have every month I do a gratitude journal and a gratitude book. And I choose with discernment, and more lately. And then, to be honest, like when we're done our show, I will literally finish work and then I will go collapse on the couch because I will probably not be able to have any more energy to sustain. And so that's where actually the quarantine was amazing for me because it grounded me more. And I think a lot of us, especially women,
Right.
it grounded us more. Whereas I was the queen, and I share this for a lesson. I was the queen of running around every day, going to red carpets 4 nights a week, running here, running there, everyone's premiere, supporting everyone, doing this, doing that, appearing at every convention, everything. And it stopped. And now I've had a taste of the calmer world, and I am choosing more of that energetically, Holly, than ever before.
And you get to support yourself. You get to take care of you. That part of really being on and really being able to handle as much as you do. Really, you've got to nurture yourself, giving yourself that self-love, that self-care, which is so important. We tend to, especially as women, we and women supporters too. We give, and then we start pushing a little to the side, a little to the side, and the next thing you know, it turns into neglect. So always, yeah, always taking care of you is a priority. Yeah,
Well, we're definitely
absolutely.
going to keep in touch with that.
Yeah,
Now, are
yeah.
you going to do any more books? Because I know you're a famous author as
You're
well.
very kind. Thank you. I am an award winner.
Yes,
An
she
award-winning
is.
author of both books. Thank you so much. So right now, I'll never say never. I try never to say never, but right now, absolutely not. I have done so much, and I say this humbly, but I say it again to inspire. From writing to, I attempted, like you said earlier, I attempted directing one of my web series with Ms Vampy years ago. I hated it. I'm not good at it. I mean, maybe there's parts of it I'm good at, like directing actors, but the technical stuff, I know what I don't know, and I know like what I'm a master of and what I'm not. And like, I honor my directors so much. Let them do that job. I'm not going to do it. Writing, I wrote for years as a board certified life coach for every female publication like around, I think. And it was wonderful. And I learned a lot, but it's not my inspiration. My health right now has to come first, my healing. So I'm going to, take some breaks since it's been nonstop, even with producing and acting lately, even virtually. I am appearing at a lot of, virtual conventions and speaking on film festival panels. So it's a lot and it's a lot of energy. But with the books, I think down the road, if the inspiration hits me again, I would do it. But right now, my soul needs to act. That's really, I think I'm managing, like you guys said, so much that I sometimes lose myself and I get distracted doing this, helping others, everything, even press and media. I'm so blessed and grateful to have these invitations and opportunities. But like I said, off air and on, you girls inspired me to say yes. Like I've been so sick and gained weight, and I'm like, Cat's PR is ready to kill me because I'm like, I don't want to be on camera. I'm not myself.
Oh, you look
But
gorgeous.
You
so
do.
Nothing
sweet.
to worry about.
Thank
You
you.
do.
Well, you girls are beautiful inside and out, but I don't feel it. You know that, and I share that with the viewers. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
But I hope my energy does shine through. Thank
Yeah.
you. And so I am ready to step out in this fall, I think, for me in the pandemic. And Michele, I want to come back to New York. I miss New York. I miss New York gritty indie films. I miss New York television. I miss the opportunities when I was signed with A-list agents in New York. And if I have my way, I'd like to spend more time in New York acting when this is over and when
So
I'm healthy and able to get out.
I'm going to put this
Absolutely.
out to the universe. She will be a part of Mupo. She's already a part of Mupo, but I'm seeing more because when she comes here, we're going to go to a Sixers game, and
Yes.
we'll get some people to go to a Sixers game, and then because
Yes.
it's gonna come down to that.
Can we go to Arthur's in Hoboken? Arthur's Steakhouse. Remember Arthur's Steakhouse is
You know
so
what?
good.
There's Arthur's. Literally, I could walk to Arthur's Steakhouse from my house here in North Brunswick.
Stop
And
it.
the last time I was there, who was
Are
it?
they open?
Yeah, no, I don't know if they were, but I know the last time I was there, which was a few years ago, I went in there. Don't even know why, but the keyboard player from Bon Jovi was there, and he sat right next to me, and I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, I know you, and it was just, and like meanwhile, when we were all kids, we all used to play together. You know what I mean? But now it's just like, it is what it is. It's fun.
Brooke, it has been such a pleasure having you on here. What a gift you are. What a gift. And
Thank
definitely want to see you definitely take care of you so that you can keep shining your light and your beautiful energy. It's so radiant. You're such a giving entertainer, actress, entertainer, as sums it up as a
Yeah.
whole, but I have never seen somebody more grateful
you.
and generous, and like I said in the beginning, just
No,
really,
don't cry.
really
Yeah.
acknowledge.
You're a
Yeah, don't run
Virgo,
that
don't.
mascara, girl.
No,
Really,
I'm a mush ball,
really,
but
really,
thank you.
I think it's just commendable the way you acknowledge others, the way you bring them into your story, the way you share the light, and lift them. And I'm sure that the guests that we've had that see this are going to be absolutely touched by all the incredible things that you have to say. And I know we're very touched to have met you. And I know this is only the
Great
beginning,
energy.
only the beginning. Incredible
Great energy.
energy. So,
Thank you so much, Holly. Thank you for your beautiful words. And look, Michele and I had met before. We knew each other a little bit. We know a lot of the same people. Holly and I are new to one another, but I knew intuitively coming in how powerful you are too. And I know how psychic, intuitive, and energy
I'm gonna read you
sensitive and
after
healing
this.
she is. I can
Yeah.
feel it. I know you are too. She is too. I can't wait to hear more about your world and life. And like, we are so going to stay in touch, ladies. Thank you again for doing
thank
what
you.
you do,
Thank you.
for having the most amazing guests. And I'm going to say shout out girl power stuff. Like, I'm just in awe.
I
And you
love
have,
it.
like I said, early on, I'm going to go back to it. Like I wrote down my notes, like a lady empire that you have built and are continue
Thank
to
you.
build. And I would be honored to in some way come back again, be a part of it. However, I'd love to,
You have an
yes.
open invite to come back, and we'd love. I'd love to have you on host with us as well.
Aw, well,
Do
Yeah,
maybe
do
we're
on
something
serious.
occasion we can
special
figure
with
that
us.
out.
Yeah,
We're
Yeah.
serious, and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
serious about doing something. Maybe we'll bring
Mhm.
people back. We'll have like 6 or 7 of them on here at once, and then we could all just
People you might know.
yeah.
I would be honored. Yes, because
Great.
I think I've either
I
worked with or was supposed to work with every single person who's been on your show.
I know, right?
I'm an OG. What can I say?
You're
Believe it or
the
not.
most well known.
Big Sky. Big
I'm-
Sky is a TV show.
Big
You need
Sky. Hi,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the hell with Kevin
Oh my
Bacon.
God, that show is amazing. I am like on my edge to my. It's on. Yeah, it is still on. Oh,
They're gonna move it to
the last
Thursdays.
episode, the last episode of the season though.
They're
One
gonna
more,
move it to
and then we got.
Thursdays.
Yeah, but then we have to wait. They're taking a break.
So listen,
So
you just gotta
bef-
follow Brooke Lewis Bellis.
yeah, but before we do that, before we exit, we're gonna do. I like to do a 3 fill in the blanks. So I'm gonna start a sentence and you finish it. And are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. If I could be any well-known vampire, I would be.
Vampira.
The one material belonging I can't live without.
It has to be something glam. So let's say my flat iron.
Your flat iron. I love it. I love it. You know what? With the crimp I have on my head from this headset, I would agree with you. While I've had roles created for me, the one I'd create for myself is
Health, love, inspiring others, and winning an Emmy.
Aw, I love it. You are so awesome,
You'll get an
so
Emmy.
beautiful. Thank you, Brooke. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooke Lewis Bellis It's been such a treat visiting with you. Please look for Brooke Lewis Bellis on Amazon Prime in the morning, The Day of the Living Dead, and Sprinkles, and the upcoming web series Red Rooms. The upcoming series Stripped. Oh, I can't wait to see that. And the soon to be released The Second Age of Aquarius, which you can see right there in the background. And you can subscribe to her videos on youtube.com channel and Brooke Lewis Bellas, and find her books on amazon.com. You can follow, like, and subscribe to Book on Twitter at Brooke Lewis LA, on Facebook under Brooke Lewis Bellas, and Lewis is Lewis, Bellas Bellas, like Bella with an A, and at Brooke Lewis LA on Instagram, and at her websites brookelewisbellas.com and that's Ms Vampy, VAMPY.net. As always, thank you for tuning in to Mupo and Friends. We are brought to you again courtesy of Mupo TV. You can watch this show and others at www.mupoentertainment.com. That's www.mupoentertainment.com. And don't forget to watch this very special episode with Brooke coming up again at www.mupoentertainment.com. I had to do that. This is Holly Lombardi with our special guest, Brooke Lewis Bellas, and our host, mastermind, creator of Mupo Entertainment and Mupo and Friends, the one and only Michele Fuchsia Mupo. And ladies and gentlemen, we are over and out.